Okay, guys, we're going to go through making a workout by using the profile for Hunter Stratton. So forgive me if I'm kind of shooting from the hip here. I'm just literally doing it like I would get on without doing this before. So I'm going to jump onto my Tableau, log in, get into my dashboard. Once I'm in my dashboard, then I'm going to flip down to Hunter's profile here in a second. The internet cooperates with me. So once this jumps on, I'm going to jump into Stratton's profile. So here we are, Hunter Stratton. So I'm going to check, just make sure he has all the numbers. So it looks like he has everything inputted here. Everything inputted on the lower and upper body as well. I'm going to go down here, and this is where I'm going to start. As I start building out TrainHeroic, one of the big things I'm going to look at first is recommendations. So this would be where if he failed anything here, IR, standing IR doesn't really go into our failing mechanism for changes, but if he fails some things up here, fails hip flexion, etc., internal rotation of the shoulder, blah, 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 then he would have recommendations up here for some training recommendations. Lifting setup, I'm going to look at different training sets that he may have, what exactly is in that training set. Conditioning we won't have to worry about. And then extra sessions, if I wanted to plug in extra sessions for him, what are those extra sessions going to look like? So I'm going to go into TrainHeroic. I'm going to click athletes after I'm logged in. It's going to bring up all my athletes in a large list. After that, I'm going to go to Stratton and click on him. Okay. So I'm just going to note if he's on any teams. He's on the Altoona equipment team right now. So on the Altoona equipment team. So what I'm going to do, instead of trying to load stuff over him on his calendar, so if I click his calendar, I can go in here and start loading things on his calendar. It looks like as of right now, he has stuff through this week. So what I'm going to do is I can either start creating sessions here, or I can open up the library and create a program. So for this, what I'm going to do is actually just create a 3-week program for him. And I'm going to go in and just make a new program. So I'm going to create a program, Stratton program. Let's say I just want to make a 3-week program right now. I'm going to create his program here. So it doesn't matter what day you put it on, especially once we're getting in season, and he's probably going to be doing somewhere around 2-3 days a week. I'm just assuming we're doing 2 right now. So I'm going to create my session, Stratton day 1. So as I look into it, my mobility prep is going to be mobility 3 and Mob 3, which is hip range. So I'm going to click that. And now I have my mobility 3 with my rep sets, etc. in there. Movement 3. So now once you get down into movements, you're going to have A, B, C, D, E, and F. So if you aren't familiar with these are yet, what you're going to want to do is go into our Dropbox. And if you go into our Dropbox, what you're going to see on our Dropbox is in the 2020 Pittsburgh Pirates, MILB, strength programs, you're going to look at and find MILB packages. If you open that up, that's just a quick thing you can print off of to look at all the packages. A being the most basic, and then moving through progression all the way up. So let's say I'm going to put C for him, standing single leg core activation, band good morning, goblet squat, and band row. So I'm going to plug that in. Going back, JMB12, same thing, following suit. JMB12, we have A, B, and C in there right now. I'll make sure D and F get in there. Not sure why it's not yet, but A, B, and C. I'm going to start him on C on that as well. So broad jump, 12-inch depth jump, and a med ball slam. Next block. Now these main movement 1, level 2. So when I look at MM1, we aren't going to have that in there, because what that is actually we're going to look at what's specific for him. So if we're in a back squat, Hunter, and I'm going to put this in there right now, I'm going to look at giving him 5. And let me take level 2 means we're using a 10, 8, 5 as a warm up, and then 3 sets of 5 as our working sets, or you can go 12, 10, 8, 5, 5, 5. 3 set of 5 is our working set. You can also look in some of these prescriptions and save them here if you wanted to save these prescriptions with percentages. So now we're going to go into submax. So submax, and we got to, as we're looking at these, so we're not going to have the main movement and submax and the weaknesses in there. So these are ones you're going to want to actually look at and say, okay, what are our main movements, our submax, what are we actually addressing here? So level 2, we know we need to up the relative strength. We have a posterior chain weakness on our submax, and we just have a general stability program. Stability programs will be in the same. So I need to put an upper body. So if I'm back squatting, let's put a one-arm dumbbell row, supersetted here, and I'm going to do 4 sets of 20 reps, and then I'm just going to note in here 20 reps equal 10 reps each arm. Okay, so now we're going to move into our submax work. We know we have a posterior chain weakness stuff. I'm going to put in a glute ham raise here. I'm going to give him 3 sets of 10 on the glute ham. We're going to superset our push-up here. And let's go 10 push-ups as well. That's our weakness. And then we're going to go down into our stability block. And so our stability 1, that's our general, stab 1. And we're just going to go with C on this as well. A lateral band walk, a single leg front plank, reverse hyper, and a farmer's carry. And that's his workout that's been built out. Okay. So if I go back to his program, I don't have to save this unless I want to specifically save something. There, his week 1, day 1 is built out. So what I'm going to do is the same thing to repeat, and I'll just create it on day 4 to give 2 days in between. Once we get it on his program, on his phone, he can always click these these little 3 dots right here, and he can click those and move the session to whatever day he wants to schedule it for. So I'll just create it on arbitrary days. So I'm going to do the same thing here. Stratton, day 2. Mad block, we were on mobility 3. So I'm going to put that mobility 3. That's going to be a variation of cars. So movement 3. So last time we went 3C. So we can keep him there or we can change it depending on how you feel. Let's say for variation's sake, we wanted to change it and we wanted to do 3D. So this is just small changes. We still have that single leg core activation. Now we're going to some single leg RDLing there to start mini band squatting in a TRX row. So JMB 12, same thing. So let's say we want to change it. Let's go to B on this one. We were on C, tuck jumps and moving pogos and single leg slam. So now we have 2 different versions there. Main movement on this day, if we wanted to deadlift, and let's say we wanted to sumo him on this day and wanted to work 10, 8, 5, 3, 3, 3. Let's say we wanted to go 3 sets of 3 working sets or 4 working sets of 3. We could do that. We're going to actually superset our push with this day. And so I did have push up on this last one. So what I'm going to do is go back to the last day and actually move that push up to a dumbbell bench after, just so we can have our sumo deadlift and our push up together. If we wanted to do barbell row, as our main lift for that upper pole. For our lower, again, we're posterior chain. So we can do a variety of things, but for the most part, let's say we're going to stay glued ham with him to really get the hamstrings going. So now we are into our weakness section. So now that we're in our weakness section, let's put a dumbbell lateral lunge here. 3 sets, 16. Again, I always like to go 16 reps equals 8 each leg on that lateral lunge. And then I will actually plug in another row for him here. So let's say we wanted to go lat pull down with this, 3 sets of 12. Add my stability. He was stability 1. And we did, let's go to D on this one, just to give him a little bit of variation on that bear crawl hold, linear band, hand walk with the band. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go back here and just make sure that I had everything looked correctly. So as you can see, there's some differences here, and that's what I noticed as I went. What I did is I missed putting a weakness section in this, so I only put a submax after our main lift, which was, or our main superset, which was the back squat in the row. I actually have submax and then my stability. So I need a weakness block, which I can add another row to, and I can actually add, which I wanted to do this, a single leg RDL on my squat day. Let's say we're doing 16, so 16 reps equals 8 each leg. I already have a dumbbell row with my back squat. So now let's say I wanted to do a single arm row, or a bilateral row. Let's just put our TRX row here, and I'm going to put some more reps on this. I'm going to put 12 reps here. But now my superset is below my stability. So what I'm going to do, I have the superset connected. I'm just going to hit move superset up, and now you can see that superset is in the proper place. So it looks a little messy right here, which is nice when you back out. You can see, so as we look at Hunter's workout is here on the Stratton program. This is his day 1, day 4. So if I just post this arbitrarily, this will be Monday. He'll have nothing Tuesday, Wednesday, and this will be posted Thursday or Tuesday, Friday, depending on how you want to post it. Like I said, he can actually move this himself once he gets in there. So what you can do now is you can actually just take this and you can highlight these 2 workouts, hit copy 2 sessions, paste them in my week 2, and now I'm going to go in here and I'm going to start just adjusting repetitions as I go through. I'm going to leave my mobility the same. I'm going to leave a lot of my movement prep the same as well, unless you wanted to start to build volume, like with a goblet squat, if you wanted to go 8s for the second week. And my jumps, I'm typically going to leave the same for right now. Again, I don't know exactly what he's been doing because I haven't talked with him all the way through. But let's say we want to go to triples on the squat. I want to leave that dumbbell row the same. If I wanted to go to 8s here, or I could go the opposite way, I could. I'm not going to mess around a lot with this because this is going to be something that you guys who know the volume with him a little bit better can work through. But I would change triples, obviously, if I'm leaving all the accessory work exactly the same. And then deadlifts, let's say I'm going to move this down, and I'm actually going to go down to do some doubles on the deadlift. So when I scroll down, let's say I wanted to start on this one, 8, 5, 3, then do 4 doubles, working up weight on that. Also could work up reps or work up total volume on my accessory work down total volume and up total weight on the accessory work. So depending on how you guys see fit of what he needs specifically now that he's coming in. So there's a couple ways if I fill this out, and I could go through and I could paste this whole thing on his workout. Let me just hit copy of these 2 sessions. So I go back to my athletes now that I have that program built out for him. If I had all 3 weeks, I'll show you the 2 different ways that you can do it. So with Hunter, I go back to his calendar. I see that we're really programming starting next week. So as I look at him next week, I'm going to say, okay, let's paste it so that it ends up Tuesday, Friday. Okay. And I'm actually going to take these. I'm going to highlight these programs because he's going to be doing some conditioning with you guys. I'm going to delete those programs off so that he kind of has a blank week. Okay. Good. All right. Now, these are not published yet. You can do this two ways. So if I had a 3-week session and I wanted to add all 3 weeks of his sessions in, I'd hit add from library, programs, and I could just go to Stratton program, click it, and it's going to ask me what day do I want to put. So I'd put it on the 6th, hit OK, hit add to calendar, and that would add all 6 sessions or 3 weeks by 2 sessions to his on Monday, Thursday, or if I said do the 7th, it'll add all on Tuesday, Friday, etc. And then he would have all 3 of those weeks as long as you adjust the repetitions. How I like to do it is I like to put 1 week on and build this guy's 1 week. And then as I get feedback from him in real time, then what I'll do is I'll copy this, paste it in his program, make the adjustments, and then copy and paste it back in here. Or you could just straight copy, paste it on his calendar, hit edit, and make the repetition adjustments. So again, I won't do that. What I will do is I will publish this. So if I wanted to publish his workouts, I would hit publish and do that. Hunter now has 2 sessions next week on. And again, if he wants to work out on Monday, he wants to work out on Sunday, when he gets onto his phone, he just scroll over to a day that's posted. He'll click this triple dot and he'll just say reschedule the session and move it over to wherever he wants to do that workout. So the other thing that, again, just as you guys start getting players up there, what you're going to need to do is take this athlete like Stratton, and I won't move him yet because if he's going to do that workout that's on the section, I don't want to mess him up today. So I am going to click him. I'm going to go into his account. I'm going to take him off this. So I'll add him to your MLB team already. And then what I would do is I delete Altoona equipment program. So I delete him off of that, and he would be good to go. Like I said, you guys will need to do that because I'm not going to jump on and delete him off because it looks like he still does have a workout or 2 on there. And if he is going to do that today, I don't want to be the guy that crosses him off of that. Okay. So again, your team view, Stratton's the only guy in the MLB teams. You guys get more guys up there. Athlete view, and then really just working off of this. Now, down here in the extra sessions, let's just actually take a look at that. So if I go back into Stratton's programs, and I know that he's got extra work that we want to do, right? So if I go back into his program, his 3-week program, his extra work is pails and rails, left hip IR, okay? So if I look up, left hip IR is 24, right hip IR is 24. So really this should have both hips on there. I'm not sure why it just has one, okay? And his ER is just barely pushing the standard of 35-ish degrees. So if that's the extra work we need for him, this is real easy. I just go into create session, add a block, and I'm just going to put in pails, rails, and you'll see there's different left, right, ER, IR. If you scroll down and just go full hips, what that's going to do is that's actually going to come up with rep schemes, the videos for the hip IR, ER. I'm going to put that on, let's say we wanted to put it on twice a week. What I'm going to do is go to his calendar now. That's saved in his actual program, but not on his calendar yet. And I'm going to go to his calendar, and I'm just going to manually paste it in on the days after he lifts as his extra work. And if you see some things, so this is week 1, day 2. So for me, obviously that's a little bit messy for me. Stratton, extra work, publish, back to calendar. go into his other day. I'm just going to go ahead, delete this because it's easier this way. Copy, paste, publish. So now next week is set up on how I want him to at least get this extra work in. If you wanted to get him to get this 3 days a week, so on and so forth, you could do that as well. Hopefully this helped you guys. If you have any questions, ask me, okay? Stratton, this is just 1 week for him. Once he gets on the phone, he can readjust things. If he wants to change things like back squat, once he gets into the app and he wants to get in the app and change that to safety bar, what he can do is actually just hit, once it's on this screen, little triple dot by the exercise, say change exercise, change exercises if he wants to add sets, move reps, things like that. It's really easy on the app, and I help walk you guys through that too. But for the most part, that should be it on building a program. So if you have any questions, let me know, and hope that helps, guys.